Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about outlining. But before I go into this, I just want to clarify that I am a plot first sort of writer. I've been reading this book, Write Your Novel in a Month by Jeff Gerke, and he talks about how there's basically two types of writers. There's plot first writers and character first writers. Plot first writers, when they first think of a story idea, they picture like the main events coming together, and that's what gets them amped up to write their story. Character first writers, on the other hand, the first thing they think about is a main character, and the events of their plot are all kind of centered around this one main character. I personally am not really able to develop characters until I have the plot, like the major plot points figured out. I don't know why. That's just, I can't have a character if I don't know what's going to happen first. And my outlining process definitely reflects that. If you are a character first sort of writer, then my process will still work for you. You just will have to switch a couple of the steps around. So that being said, here is my outlining process. The first thing I do is develop the 8 plot points based off of Derek Murphy's plot dot. These 8 plot points are like just the way basic framework. Like you have the original world, inciting incident, decision, first battle, midpoint, all those sorts of things. If you want to learn more about that, I can do a video, or you can check out Derek Murphy's plot dot on his Creative Indie website or his YouTube channel. I'll put the links for both of those in the description box. So that is the first thing I do, is I develop the basic framework. I get those 8 specific events nailed down, figure out how that's gonna happen. And then I go on to step 2/3. These parts are kind of like intermixed together. And this is character development plus thought dumping. In this phase, I basically just brainstorm everything I want to happen in between these framework points, and while I'm doing that, I also discover my characters along the way, and I'm able to flesh out their personalities based on the things that I write down, like dialogue and sample interactions and things like that. If you're a character first writer, you will probably do this character development before you even think of your main events, because that's how your brain works. But mine does not work that way, and I develop my characters through brainstorming events, and from that I can develop character development sheets later, which is a topic for another video. I recommend keeping your thought dumps all in one place, so I always have a journal I use for each book where I kind of brainstorm all of my ideas, and I keep it all in here until I get to step 4, which is organizing your thought dump. In the past, I've done this on the computer, but for this novel that I'm going to be writing, now I think I'm going to write everything out and put it on my closet door just so I can see visuals. But for this, you basically take your framework you have with the 8 points that should be in your story, and you take your thought dump and you put it where it goes within that framework of those plot points. So like if something's supposed to come before the inciting incident that kind of shows your character's everyday life, you stick it there. If it goes after the midpoint, when your character decides that they're gonna be a proactive hero, put it there. In this phase, you're going to be organizing and also cutting out any thought dump scenes that didn't really make sense or don't fit into your framework. It'll be pretty clear. Also, during this organization phase, you're going to create your chapters. So develop scenes a little bit and split them up into what you think logical chapter forms would be. Step 5 is developing thoroughly all of those scenes and chapters. There's different things that should go into scene making, like goals and conflicts and decisions, like all that sort of thing. But this is the phase where you're going to develop each one of those scenes in detail so that by the time you're finished, you have a whole complete outline that tells you everything that's going to happen or should happen in your rough draft. But you are still not done, because you need to revise that outline. Even though you've put so much work into it so far, there's still going to be plot holes. Characters might not act logically like within their personalities, so you need to look over that outline and make sure that everything is cohesive, and as far as it is to your knowledge, it's like a whole complete story. After that, I also recommend giving your now finished outline to a friend that can read it over and revise it once more for you as well. And this is because as writers, we already know everything that happens in the story. We know motive, we know background, we know things that we don't necessarily tell our readers. And so it's important for like a third party who doesn't know this stuff to look it over and make sure that what you've written makes sense based on what you have made available to the reader. So that's how I go about my outlining process. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click the like button. And if you would like to receive weekly updates on how to start, write, and publish your novel, go ahead and subscribe. I post new videos every Friday, even if it's a late Friday like this one. If you have any questions for me, you can leave them down in the comments below or find me in one of my social media links listed in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, bye!